You know, boxing is such a funny sport, and it's such a subjective sport too. I mean, 20,000 people can watch a fight, and everyone can have a different opinion on what they saw. Even though the result is what the result is, people can take that result and they can interpret it in so many different ways. And you'll have 20 different stories at the end of the day, or 20,000 different stories at the end of the day, I should say. And the narrative this morning is, what happened, everyone expect to happen in this Canelo Alvarez Amir Khan fight. And you know what? I guess those people are right. People were saying that Khan, or the majority of people were saying that Khan would do well early, and then as soon as he got hit with a big shot, he would go to sleep. I can't argue that. It happened. But what I don't agree with is, Canelo won this fight just because he was the bigger man. I thought Canelo won this fight because he ended up being the smarter man at the end of the day. He was the guy that made the adjustments. He was the guy that was going to the body. He knew that, Khan had to be slowed down because he was moving well. He was jabbing well from the outside. He was fighting this fight very well from a distance. And Canelo knew that he had to stop the movement. And he made an attempt to stop the movement by going to the body. Now, whether or not those body shots really slowed Khan down in the end, or was it the fact that Khan was throwing a lot of punches early on and he just got naturally tired? Who knows? I mean, it could be a combination of things. But at the end of the day, when you look at that sixth round, Canelo threw a beautiful feint. He was dipping down. He was trying to sell that right hand to the body to Khan. And he had Khan thinking that he was going to throw that right hand downstairs. And Khan reacted to that feint. I thought Canelo faked him out of his socks. Hell, he faked me out of my socks. And I was sitting home watching it. I thought that right hand was going to be thrown to the body too. That's how good that feint was. So he threw that feint downstairs. And Khan dropped that left hand as if he was going to block a body shot. And then at the last minute, he decided, hey, I'm going to throw a left hook over the top of that right hand and try to beat him with my left hook upstairs before that right hand hits my body. And lo and behold, before you know it, Canelo made that adjustment and he threw the right hand upstairs. It was a veteran move. It was an awesome feint. And he landed that shot perfectly. And I think it would have knocked out anyone that he landed it against. So I don't think this was an issue of chin. I don't think this was an issue of bigger man versus smaller man. Whether you can argue that, I get it. But at the end of the day, Canelo won this fight with intelligence, and I don't think that he's going to get credit for winning this fight with intelligence because he made adjustments. He threw a beautiful feint that faked Khan out of his socks, and he won this fight with his brain, not with brawn. I don't think he won this fight with brawn. This wasn't a physical fight. This was a tactical fight. And Canelo knew that he couldn't beat Khan from the outside. Canelo knew that if he went punch for punch with Khan upstairs, that he would probably get outworked. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give Canelo full credit for this victory. I know people are angry because they want to see the Triple G fight. And, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, Canelo is the A side. He is going to dictate terms. So if Triple G really wants this fight, he's going to have to agree to a catchweight. Bernard Hopkins, he had 3 titles back in the day when he fought Oscar De La Hoya. And Oscar De La Hoya had 1 title. Bernard Hopkins was the middleweight champion of the world. And Oscar De La Hoya had that WBO title that he questionably won from Felix Sturm. But at the end of the day, Bernard Hopkins agreed to the catchweight of 157. He came in at 156. And I believe De La Hoya came in at 155 and a half. And the fight happened. So this is nothing new. The name, the draw, the star dictating terms to what is conceivably a better fighter, or who is conceivably a better fighter. De La Hoya did it to Hopkins, and Canelo is going to do it to Triple G. Hopkins wanted the fight. He knew he needed the fight for his legacy, or at least to be a pay-per-view draw, get that pay-per-view purse. That was his ticket to being on pay-per-view, and he took it. So he seized the opportunity. Whether or not Triple G wants to seize the opportunity, that's on him. But I get it. I don't like catchweights either. But this is nothing new. This is history repeating itself. It's the same thing. Sergio Martinez agreed to a catchweight against Miguel Cotto. And he was the champion. Sergio Martinez agreed to a catch weight against Paul Williams. And Martinez was the champion. So concessions have to be made sometimes, even though you may be a better fighter than your opponent and you're the champion, you're the lineal champion. This is nothing new what Canelo is doing. Whether I don't agree with it from a fan standpoint, but I understand it. And it's not shocking to me that Canelo was doing this because so many fighters before him had done this. Sugar Ray Leonard fought Donnie Lalonde for 2 titles on the same night. Made Donnie Lalonde come down to 168 and forced him to put his 175-pound title on the line, fighting at super middleweight. So even the greats have done this. So I understand people complaining about it, but if Triple G really wants this fight, then he's going to have to budge. He's going to have to budge, and it is what it is. Canelo gets full credit for this victory last night, in my eyes. I'm not going to dump on Canelo for beating Khan. I thought Khan was winning the fight, and I thought Khan showed that for 5 or 6 rounds, or 4 or 5 rounds, he belonged in there. And Canelo made the adjustment, faked him out of his socks, and he got a great victory, in my opinion. So I'm going to give Canelo credit for that. And I'm going to say, hey, Triple G, if you want this fight, you're going to have to make concessions. All right. That's all I got to say right now. Until next time, Beeb is out. And as always, thank you for watching.